the fiercest 19-year-old prodigy in the Forged in Fire competition, a monster who wields the dragon spine clad steel, forging technique in time-limited challenges, and the first hand-forging legend to craft a hardcore 1,000-layer Damascus steel blade purely by human strength. Everyone thought the 1,000-layer Damascus would crush the competition, but little did they know, top talents abounded in this round. The final showdown was even an ultimate battle between 2,000-layer Damascus steel knives, letting blade tester Doug experience the most extreme joy. The show's crew prepared a Rambo survival knife this time, tasking the contestants with replicating it. The blade length had to be controlled between 12 to 15 inches. Additionally, they needed to create a multifunctional irregular blade spine and an integrated through tang. Despite such complex requirements, the forging time was still only 3 hours. Unexpectedly, chaos erupted right at the start of the competition. Brian had never used a welding machine before, leaving him unable to connect the steel to the mandrel. Fortunately, the bald Mike next to him was kind-hearted and offered help, but their relief was short-lived. The mandrel disconnected from the steel during forging. On the other side, the chubby contestant directly threw a cylindrical steel bar into the warm forging furnace to heat it. Afterward, he grabbed it with pliers and started hammering immediately, but he seemed to underestimate the power of the power hammer. After just 2 strikes, the steel blank slipped from his grip and fell to the ground. Meanwhile, 19-year-old Christian moved at an astonishing pace into the power hammer forging phase. He had already quickly widened the cylindrical steel, and while waiting for tempering, he carefully marked the dimensions on his workbench, a detail that allowed him to check against them at any time. An hour passed, and Brian had just started shaping his steel blank. Though he wasn't too far behind in progress, his hammer strikes lacked sufficient force. The chubby contestant next to him swung harder, but his size caused him to feel oxygen deprived quickly. There was no time for rest in the time-limited competition. He could only take a sip of water and start grinding. Bald Mike also began shaping his blade blank, and his forging speed was incredibly fast. He then immediately proceeded to temper and shape the tang without stopping. What's even more impressive is that despite such high-intensity forging, the blade's details and curvature were still perfectly executed. In the end, he directly used a cutting machine to remove the excess part of the tang. With just a bit more refinement, it would be ready for quenching. On the other side, young Christian was already covered in sweat. After forging the rough blank, he used fire tongs to cut and create openings, teaming a sledgehammer with a chisel to craft an integrated guard, a feature that usually serves as a bonus point in the first round of judging. With only 30 minutes left, Christian suddenly noticed his blade seemed too long. Without hesitation, he grabbed an angle grinder and cut it down, not even taking a second measurement. After cutting, he took out clay and applied it to the blade spine. This method protects the spine's shock resistance during quenching, while not affecting the increase in blade sharpness. Sure enough, the final quenching result was flawless. Mike, on the other hand, went even more in-depth with details. He made a large heat conduction tube himself. This ensured the blade blank heated more evenly before quenching. In the end, his blade blank remained straight and hard. After quenching, Brian followed closely behind and started quenching. At that moment, an accident happened. The blade blank fell into the quenching tank. He simply tested the temperature and pulled the blade blank out with his bare hands. The chubby contestant was the last to quench. During heat treatment, the blade turned white, a sign of overheating.